Guess what? We're coming up on 8 million views. Every time I hit a milestone of a million, I like to reflect back and talk about some of the things that have happened between the last million and this one. So let's take a walk down the beach and talk about what's happened over the last million views. So Nan,
Yes.
what do you think about 8 million views?
Good deal.
Good deal, huh? So, I've been doing this now about 7.5 years. And there's been a lot of changes in 7.5 years, don't you think?
Yes.
What do you think has happened in 7.5 years? What's different now? How about the good stuff? Good things first. One good thing is...
Help the people.
Huh?
Help the people.
Help the people? Yeah. No, but the 7 years in Thailand, what's changed?
A lot.
A lot of stuff, yeah. The good things are, the women are still pretty.
Yeah.
Now, when I started, they didn't wear makeup, and they weren't into fashion. So for somebody that's into that, they look. When I first came over, they looked a little bit what we call in America homely. Homely means plain, tamada. But now because they wear makeup and stuff, it's like they look different. Now I'm lucky because I have somebody in my life that I think looks beautiful without any makeup.
Thank you.
Yeah, you never wear makeup, and I think you look great. So, but yeah, the women look different. There's more things for foreigners here now, more products in the stores for us. I bet you this is going to be loud today with the water right here, huh?
Yeah.
Hope the water and the sound of the water isn't that bothersome. But yeah, now there's more products that are available for foreigners. Want some coffee? And so that makes it easier to live here. Before, we used to have members bring over stuff like your hot sauce and all sorts of stuff. But now, most of the things I can find here. And one thing that's not so good is Thai people are getting bigger. But for people like me that need bigger clothes, it's a good thing. Because I can find clothes now that fit where I couldn't before. So that's a good thing. But I think the thing about that Thai people are getting big because of the diet, not so good. Eating a lot of junk food, right? Wow, we're coming up on a lot of people. Should we turn around and go the other way?
Yeah.
Or just keep walking? Nah, let's keep walking. Let's see how friendly these people are. Yeah, there's a lot of junk food and stuff. See, there's junk food. A lot of junk food and stuff that people eat now that they didn't eat in the past. So that's sort of different, causing people to get a little bit bigger. And are things becoming more expensive?
Yes.
Yeah, because I get people tell me that all the time. Oh, it's not cheap in Thailand anymore. But if you think about everything's getting expensive everywhere in the world, becoming more expensive. And so it's all relative, which means it's more expensive here, but compared to back home, I still think it's a great value because things are getting more expensive at home as well. So I'm going to do an interview with one of my members shortly. He found a one-room apartment. Yeah, สวัสดีครับ สบายดีไหม Okay. He found a one-bedroom apartment for less than $100 US. Amazing. All right, it might be a standalone bungalow now that I think about it, but that's amazing. Another thing that has changed over the years is now more people are driving cars. Now this causes a lot of challenges because of the ratio of cars to motorcycles. As that increases, it becomes more dangerous for the people on the motorcycles. So, and also places like Chiang Mai in some places, it's also more difficult to drive around because there's so much traffic. The larger vehicles fill up the roads more. So that's different. Another thing that's different, how many people are doing YouTube videos about Thailand?
A lot.
Oh my God. A lot. When I first started, it was nobody. And having said that, I do want to mention, if you all find a YouTuber that you appreciate their work, support them. Most of them have Patreon accounts or something. Help support them to continue what they do. Because anybody that's done this, especially the people who try and do it on a daily basis, it is really hard work. We might make it look easy, and a lot of people think it's just walking around with a camera and stuff, but it is a lot of work. And so if you find somebody that you like, support them. Help them to continue to do what they do. In fact, there was just an article somebody passed on to me about the rate of depression. The YouTubers that are doing this on a bigger scale aren't happy at all. They're very depressed. And it's not a good thing because of the pressure that's put on them. Because YouTube tries to tell everybody that the more videos you do and the more frequently you do them, the more successful you'll be. And so people are trying to put out these videos on a big scale, on a frequent scale, and it's costing them their personal lives. So, like I said, if you find somebody you like, support them. Help them continue to do what they do. Hello, dog. Still street dogs? Yeah. Actually, they got some programs going on to try to sterilize them so that they don't breed so much. That's probably a good thing. What else is going on? What else happened over the last million views? More high-end motorcycles, the big motorcycles, because the banks are extending credit to everybody. So people can just go to the bank and get the financing for these motorcycles. Plus a lot of rich kids. You know, their parents are rich, and so they go and buy these higher-end motorcycles. So a lot of those. But it also means that those motorcycles are available for foreigners who like them as well. So if you're into a higher-end motorcycle, you can get those now, no problem. They're even manufacturing Triumph and Harley Davidsons, if I'm not mistaken. What else is going on? 1 million, now we're 8 million views. So over the last million, people are still friendly here. That hasn't changed. You know, somebody just said on my YouTube channel, Thai people aren't friendly because if they lose face, they get angry. And I said, well, just don't make them lose face. Easy. And what mean, if you don't know what losing face means, it means like embarrass them. And the funny thing I had to comment about that is, in the West, people get triggered or angry for everything. In America, everybody's angry at everything. You can't say anything that's correct. Somebody will get pissed off. So when somebody says that Thai people are angry and they're not friendly, what a joke that is. Oh my God. It's all relative. Same with the cheapness, you know. People say it's not cheap anymore. It is cheap. But if you're having a bad exchange rate like the Australian dollar, well, then, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge. But that'll change. Just give it some time. But compared to everything back home, it is still cheap here, and people are still very friendly here. Now, if I had more money, would I be at home back in the States? No. This is a good fit for me. There is no perfect place to live. But this is as perfect for me as I found. And luckily, Thailand is a big country. They're facing a lot of growth challenges due to the boom in tourism, the boom in popularity. And so they're facing a lot of challenges because of that. And we'll see how it all shakes out. But it could be in the future, if the economy in China falters and their currency has a problem, could be a lot of stuff here that won't be being used. And what I mean by that is, you know, they're setting up a lot of housing and transportation and things like that for the amount of Chinese coming over, because there's so many. And if that ever stopped, then there would be a surplus of all that stuff. So over the 7.5 years, some things have gotten better. Has the sumtum gotten better?
Yes.
It's a little bit more expensive. I think before it was 40 baht or something. Now it's 50 baht. But then we're at the beach. We can still buy it cheap, right?
Yeah.
If we don't buy it at the beach. But yeah, for me, this is still tops on my list. And my goal has always been, and I've tried to focus more on helping the members to get over, because they help support everything we do. And so a lot of time and energy goes into helping them and supporting them and answering questions. I wonder if we could walk down the middle of this thing without me hitting my head. But gosh, we've had thousands of members go through the membership site now. A lot of them are living over here now, all over the country. We have members living in Isan, in the north, in the south, everywhere. So that's really cool. Great to run into people, and it's great to run into people from YouTube as well that recognize me. Hello, Sawadee Cup. But there you go. 8 million views, Nat.
Yes. Really good. Thank
Very
you.
good. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your support. A lot of you all have our back when people say negative things or something, and a lot of you all come to our support, and we really appreciate that. Anything else I wanted to mention? Yeah, for me, Thailand's still Thailand.
Yeah.
Still got all the things that I came here for, which primarily was the prices are still cheap for me and how I live. Now, I'm sure people ask me all the time. I'll do a video about this. They ask, how cheap can I live in Thailand? You know, how much does it cost to live in Thailand? And I'll do a video about that, because you can live off of a little bit, you can live off a lot. It depends on what you have. But even if you have a little bit to live off of, your life would still be much better than it would be back home on the same amount of money. And that's what I've always tried to explain to people. It's not I'm trying to tell people to live cheaply, but if you don't have an option,
Always option.
there's always an option of what you can do. Move. I saw a news show one time. It was on retirement, and it was a news program, and they were talking about somebody about retirement, and they were talking about how people are not set up anymore to retire. They've lost all their money and stuff. And the person said, well, you could always move to another country. That solves the problem. And that does solve the problem. I'm amazed. I told you that one of my members now can get a one-bedroom bungalow for less than $100. My sister needs to move, and she has a dog, and she's going to look, and this is in Florida, and it's over $1,000. That's Samun Songpan. Wow. A lot of money. And I just saw another article, the 52 states, forget how many of the states, and it said the best places to retire. And each one, I flipped through all of them, and it was based on best being the cost of living, the safety, a number of factors. But it had the average rent in these cities, and the average rent was over $1,000 in every city. And I'm thinking, how do people do this? How can people afford that? It's just crazy to me that people can live like that. And one of our YouTube viewers, Greg, he says everything's $1,200, $1,400 in Portland, Oregon to rent. That's not good. So something's got to give, because people can't continue to pay that kind of money just for rent. The food's still good here, so it was the value, the people, and the food. And the people are still really friendly to me. Now, some people I see their picture, you know, they look like the average criminal on Thai movies. And that is with facial hair and everything. You know, there's a stereotypical person that they put in Thai movies as the bad person. And these people look like bad people. Then they talk and comment on YouTube as bad people. And then they wonder why they have bad experiences here in Thailand. I'm thinking, gee, have you ever looked in the mirror or looked at how you talk to people and how you interact? It's not a mystery. And the food is still good. But most of the time, Nat and I, we fix our own food. Who cooks?
Oh, you.
Yeah. Boy, I was like, what? Yeah, I cook most of the food. Can I cook good Thai food?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, what do I cook that you like?
ชอบหมด
Chop everything. You like everything, huh? What's the best? Tea soup. Chop tea soup. What do you like the
cannot
best?
tell.
You don't know, huh?
Everything good.
Yeah. So I've become real proficient in cooking Thai food, which I'm proud of, and it's delicious, and I can control what's in it, and it's cheap. You know? One of the things I love about being here is that I can eat cheap seafood. You know, I can eat stuff that I normally wouldn't be able to afford back home. You know, we go get shrimp, and I can get the little slipper lobsters, I think they're called, shovel-nosed lobsters. Great. So anyway, just wanted to make this little video. Nat and I wanted to reach out and say, first of all, thank you for the 8 million views. That's really cool. And talk to you about a little bit of what's changed. Now, what do I see for the next million changes here? It'll continue down the path it's on. More materialism, which is good and bad, double-edged sword, because it allows us to get things that we couldn't get before, you know, tools and food products and things, because the people who are making more money here want some of the Western stuff because they're told that it's all good. Which we've been down that road in the West, and you see where it got us. Now we can't afford anything. And people realize that they can do without it. My members say, oh, I want to bring over this and that, and I've got this, and they can't part with it and everything. And I say, divest yourself of it. The ones that have, which is the majority, got over to Thailand and said, it's freeing, it's liberating. I didn't realize how much that stuff tied me down, how much energy went into just trying to keep the stuff. And when you have a bag or a couple bags and you can move around when you want to and change locations and everything, it's very, very free. It's a freedom most people haven't experienced since they did their gap year in college. But anyway, thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you again at the 9 million view. And leave your comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe.
Always option.
And remember, there's always an option for JC and Nat. See ya.
Bye.
Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.